We're good.
Call the meeting to order. Good evening and welcome to this meeting of Westminster's Mayor and Common Council. The Common Council meets here in historic City Hall on the second and fourth Mondays of every month. Please note that council meetings are open to the public here at City Hall and are also available and streamed live on the city's YouTube page as well as the Community Media Center channel. As courtesy to everyone, please take a minute now and silence your phone or any other electronic devices that you may have. I will be filling in for our council president, Pecoraro, although he is with us this evening via Teams or Zoom or something. But it makes more sense to have the meeting run here in person. But if you want to weigh in or tell me I'm posing things up in your stead, let me know. All right, so at this moment, let's go ahead and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Copies of tonight's agenda and the entire information packet that the council will be using this evening are available online at the city's website. Copies of the agenda are also available in the front of the room, and I believe our esteemed Councilman Dayhoff has circulated those around nicely before the meeting. We have a closed session statement that I'd like to read for the record. We had a closed meeting Monday, September 9th. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put these on, sorry. September 9th, 2024, in accordance with the general provisions of Article Code Section 3-306, subsection C2 of the Annotated Code of Maryland, and without objection, it is noted that the minutes of tonight's meeting reflect that the Common Council met in a closed meeting Monday, September 9th, 2024 at 7:48 p.m. pursuant to the general provisions of Article 3-305B7 to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice, and B8 to consult with staff, consultants, or other individuals about pending potential litigation. The following staff members were in attendance at that city meeting: City Administrator Imholz, City Attorney Levin. The Common Council took no official action during this meeting. The closed meeting adjourned at 7:52. Please let that be entered into the record. We have no hearings this evening. We do have one special guest this evening, Jenny Glennon, who is the Associate Vice President of Administration at McDaniel. We love having McDaniel reps here. Almost every meeting someone comes, so we certainly appreciate you attending this evening. And if you'd like to take a moment, tell us about what's going on up the hill, that would be great.
Sure, I have a very short report
for
tonight, but we are very excited to be sponsors for Fall Fest. So we are looking forward to all the festivities and one of their alumni of the year. We'll be serving, I believe, this So Don Roberts, so we're very excited about that. And we have two upcoming events that historically attract a lot of visitors to our community. So I wanted to share those dates. Our homecoming game will be on November 2nd. And our parent and family weekend will be November 15th to the 17th. So each year we welcome lots and lots of people to campus. So hopefully our community can take advantage of those visitors as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Next up on the agenda, we'll consider the one set of meeting minutes from the meeting of September 9th of the Mayor and Common Council. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as written?
Motion to approve.
Councilman Dayhoff with the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilwoman Gilbert with the second. Any discussion on the question? Hearing none. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed. Motion is passed. We have one item on the consent calendar this evening. Do I hear a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
Councilman Huff with the motion.
Second.
Councilwoman Gilbert with the second. Any discussion on the consent calendar? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor of approving the consent calendar, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion is carried. We'll move on to reports, and we'll have no report from the mayor this evening. She is a little under the weather and was not able to attend the meeting, so hopefully we'll get her full report at the next council meeting. We'll move on to standing committees. Councilman Dayhoff at the Arts Council.
Thank you, Mr. President. The members show opening was last week, and it's an exceptional show this year. It's an exceptional show, and it was well attended, and it's a great event. Lots of exciting programming upcoming for the fall at the Arts Council. The website is excellent. Check the website for more information. And that'll be my report, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to Councilman Huff with the Economic and Community Development Committee.
Nothing to report tonight.
Thank you very much. Councilman Pecoraro, do you have anything from Finance?
I do not, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Personnel Committee, anything for that?
No, sir, nothing there either.
It's weird for me to call you Council President Pecoraro when you just called me Mr. President. Public Safety Committee, I have a brief one. September 12th, 2024, Officer Jacob Everhart earned his Police Officer First Class designation after successfully completing his probation period and demonstrating police concepts consistent with the Westminster Police Department mission. On the 16th of September, Chief Ledwell presented the quarterly Carroll County Police Accountability Board meeting. Presented at that meeting. And on the 18th of September, the Maryland State Special Secretary of Opioid Response, Emily Kelly, visited the Westminster Police Department to learn about the initiatives such as law enforcement, assisted diversion, and overdose quick response team that agency has in place to help combat drug overdoses. So that was nice to have her come up. That's it for that report. Let's see, we're going on next to Public Works, Councilwoman Gilbert.
The Public Works staff have been busy repairing lighting at the entryway to the doors at the Carroll Arts Center in preparation for the 22nd annual member show that Councilman Dayhoff has already mentioned. The exhibit is free, it's open to the public through November 9th. Check it out and see the works of our very own Mayor Becker and Councilman Dayhoff.
Very nice. Why don't you roll right on the Parks and Rec?
I will. Let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The department is working hard also to prepare for Fall Fest, which will roll right into Parks and Rec because Fall Fest is this coming weekend. So the Recreation and Parks Department has been busy preparing for Fall Fest, not only this week, but for many, many months, but particularly this week. It will be held at the grounds of the City Park in Longwell parking lot. It will be open Thursday, the 26th, 6 to 10, with the kickoff of the parade. On Friday from 6 to 10, from Saturday and Sunday, Saturday from 10 to 10, and Sunday 12 to 6. This year, we have received a record number of parade entries, so don't miss the fantastic parade that will be held at 7 p.m. on Thursday. And if that's not enough to keep our Parks and Rec department busy, they are also preparing for the Oyster Stroll, which will happen October 12th. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Councilman Dayhoff, do you have anything for technology?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to council comments. Councilman Pecoraro, I'll call on you first for any comments.
No, sir, nothing tonight.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Dayhoff?
We had the Carroll Food Sunday had the annual milk run at Wakefield Valley last Saturday, and the event was well attended and it went really well. I was really excited. I took a lot of pictures of the Durbin House and the conference center, and that work seems to be coming along really well. So we're really excited about that. And that would be my report.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Gilbert.
I have nothing additional.
Councilman Huff.
The other thing I wanted to mention, and we've already discussed it, but I just wanted to publicly thank Commissioners Gordon, Bigliotti, and Karen for their help related to a recent vote that they took to provide more funding for our water reuse project. I know Councilman Bacci and the mayor and myself were all very much involved in that, as well as the city administrator. And I just really appreciate the support of those three commissioners for our water reuse project. And I just want to publicly thank them for that.
Thank you, Councilman Huff. I echo your sentiments. We're greatly appreciative of those three individuals for their support. Other than that, I have no comment. We'll move on to ordinances and resolutions. We have one this evening. It's the introduction of annexation resolution number 24-06, annexation number 80, Maryland Home Builders LLC, enlarging the corporate boundaries of the city of Westminster by annexing into the city certain properties containing plus or minus 2.505 acres contiguous to and adjoining the city's existing corporate boundaries, consisting of real property located at 54 Ridge Road, Westminster, Maryland, 21157. Also identified as the tax account number 07-011989, map 0045, grid 006, parcel 0167. We'll go ahead and have the Director of Community Planning, Depot, go ahead and brief us on this, and then we'll go ahead and get a motion on the table.
Thank you and good evening. Maryland Home Builders LLC, the owner and petitioner pursuant to the annotated code of Maryland, has petitioned the Mayor and Common Council of the city of Westminster to annex into the corporate boundaries of the city approximately 2.505 acres located at 54 Ridge Road, Westminster, Maryland, and currently zoned R10,000 residential district in Carroll County. The petition is requesting that the annexation area be zoned R10,000 residential zone in the city. The property is located outside city limits, but inside the water and sewer service area, and is currently contiguous to the city and therefore eligible for annexation under state law. The property is currently served by the city's public water sewer system, but the owner proposes to rehab the existing structure at the property for a single-family detached dwelling unit and to subdivide the property to develop additional single-family detached dwelling units, which requires additional water and sewer allocation. The water and sewer allocation policy requires the annexation of the property as a condition of issuing the additional water and sewer allocation. Annexation Resolution 2406, a resolution proposing to change or enlarge the city boundaries and to zone the annexation area to R10,000 residential zone as requested by the petition, is being introduced to the Mayor and Common Council tonight. With that, staff recommends that the Mayor and Common Council introduce Resolution 2406 for annexation, allowing discussions regarding the annexation to begin. And that completes my report. I'm available for any questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Depot. Let's go ahead and get the question on the table. Do I have a motion to introduce annexation resolution 2406?
Motion to introduce.
Councilwoman Gilbert with the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Councilman Dayhoff with the second. Okay, let's open it up for discussion. Is there any discussion related to this introduction? Again, it's just an introduction at this point.
Mr. Depot, can you just refresh our memory for the benefit of the group? So once we introduce this is going to go to Planning Commission, correct, for them to weigh in on the annexation?
Yeah, so after the introduction, we send the introduction and the resolution to both Carroll County and Maryland Department of Planning for their feedback. And we give them 60 days, Carroll County, 60 days. Following that, we start scheduling the Planning Commission public hearing for recommendation, then back to Mayor and Common Council public hearing as well.
So it won't go to Planning Commission for another 60 days because we give the county and some other people the opportunity to weigh in, and then it comes to Planning and Zoning for discussions there.
Yes, we'd like to get the comments back from Maryland Department of Planning and Carroll County for Planning Commission's consideration, yes.
And then you'll report that back to the whole group for us to consider the annexation.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or questions or discussion related to this item? Hearing none, I'll go ahead and call for a vote on resolution 24-06. All in favor of introduction, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? The ayes have it, and 2406 is introduced. You may start the process, Mr. Depot.
Thank you.
Sir. You have no unfinished business this evening that I'm aware of, and I do not believe we have any new business either. Is there any new business that I'm not aware of? Hearing none, we'll move on to departmental reports. Mr. Depot.
Let's start with Parks and Recreation and Parks and Director Gruber.
Good evening, everyone. I really don't have much to report other than the fact that we are getting ready for Fall Fest, and we're of course watching the weather and hoping that the rain stays out of the forecast so that we can have a fantastic 4-day event, since last year it was cut short because some torrential rain, I think is the best way to put that. So we're looking forward to having McDaniel as our title sponsor this year. And of course, your participation in the parade and welcoming lots of your students to our festival grounds and to this fabulous community event. So that concludes my report unless there are questions.
Any questions for Director Group? I'm not seeing that. Let's move to Public Works and Director Summerhill.
Thank you. In addition to Fall Fest, which the street department is very much involved with, helping them out. We had a water leak at Westminster Shopping Center. That was one of those unseen water leaks that never came to the surface, but the superintendent of the street department found the water leak in the storm drain and they fixed it. It was quite a big one. So we took care of that last week. And that's all I've got tonight. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Summerhill?
Mr. President. I'm just curious, how do you find a water leak in a storm drain?
It broke, the pipe broke right next to the storm drain and it didn't come to the surface, which is what normally happens. It went into a crack in the storm drain and was running when there shouldn't have been water running.
Okay.
And he was out there looking and he said, "Hey, wait a minute, we got a water leak here."
Oh, that's not interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Any other questions? Information technology and Director Moore.
Mr. Depot. Keep it short tonight. I know my staff has been involved in the technology side of Fall Fest, getting things ready for them and helping them out. And we're in the middle of preparing for 2 different audits. Other than that, for any questions.
See no questions. Let's move to housing and Director Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Depot. I have nothing to report this evening.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Brown? Seeing none, let's move to finance and Director Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Depot. Good evening. I do not have a report from finance tonight.
Any questions for Ms. Nunn? Let's move to Police Department and Chief Ledwell.
Good evening, Council. So today was the last day for our recent hire of certified police officer Ashley Hare on field training. So she will start on her own tomorrow, solo patrol. And tomorrow morning, we will designate Officer Dana Jackson, who came to us from the Ocean City Police Department with his police officer first class designation for successfully completing his probationary period. We just got our second cruiser, or noticed that our second cruiser was upfitted. So they're really churning them out at priority, the upfitters with the emergency equipment. So we're excited about getting the remaining ones that were purchased in this year's fiscal budget. And finally, we are also getting audited, random audit by the Training Commission on our hiring process. So we're preparing for that. That's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Seeing no questions, then I'll finish it off with Community Planning and Development. On September 19th, the Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing on local map amendment LMA 2402 to superimpose the compatible neighborhood overlay zone over property zone R7500 residential zone at 222 East Green Street with the intent to develop multifamily dwelling units. The Planning and Zoning Commission closed the public hearing and kept the record open until September 30th to obtain any additional comments, and the intent is to go back to the Planning Commission at the October meeting for a work session and possibly a recommendation that would then be forwarded to the Mayor and Common Council. On October 1st, 2024, the Board of Zoning Appeals is scheduled to hear a BZA case 2407, a variance appeal application of Marta Corsi, requesting a 105 feet variance from the 300 feet distance requirement of the City of Westminster zoning ordinance section 16458 at lot 5A located on Crider's Church Road in Westminster, Maryland. This is for site plan S1837 for my K9 buddy. And on October 2nd, 2024, the Historic District Commission is scheduled to review the proposed painting of the brick building and new exterior building lighting, mounted lighting at 56 West Main Street and provide a recommendation to the Planning and Zoning Commission. This is the old city offices. And also to review facade improvement and tax credit applications for 60, 62 to 64, and 66 to 68 West Main Street. This is essentially Yesdi Inc., all the way down to the old pawn shop. So they have plans to redo the facades and improve those. And that completes my report. I'm available for any questions.
Mr. Depot. I just wanted to mention, just in case anyone happens to be watching this meeting, so the East Green Street condo project, we kept a record, because I'm the ex officio, of course, on planning and zoning, we kept the record open to September 30th for anybody else who wants to submit comments related to that project. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay, and just for the benefit of council, I wanted to share, there was not a really big turnout to that meeting, so I don't know whether it just, a lot of people just didn't pay attention or whether there's just not a lot of concern out there. But I certainly, would welcome any additional public feedback that we would get. I know we had a few representatives from the Historic District Commission that made a couple comments, and all of that will be considered by the Planning and Zoning Commission. I imagine that we might have another work session or two just to kind of discuss it and further refine things. So though I sense that there are a lot of people that are potentially excited about the project too, because I think overall there's some things to be excited about there. So, okay, thanks. I just wanted to kind of chime in there.
Thank you.
Mr. President?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. I had a question for Mr. Depot, if I may.
Please.
Thank you. Mr. Depot, on the West Main Street development you were just discussing, the work there across from Rock Salt. Is the intention to keep the first floor of those properties as commercial and then residential on the second floor?
Yes, it is. The intent, the existing businesses aren't moving. Their existing American Ice and Yesdi will remain replacing windows and doing pointing up with brick. The concept of the pawn shop is to remove the faux stone look.
Oh, good.
Remove the
that's
stucco on the side of the building, return that to brick, repoint the brick, and then get a commercial user on that first floor. And then, as you stated, the second floors will remain residential.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Pepero. Any other questions? I have one if nobody else does. Those properties, now there's another property in between there, Ying Lane. Is that included in all of that, or is it skipping them and then going on to?
England's is to the right of the
Oh,
SD.
he's to the right. Okay, so they're all contiguous together?
Yes.
Is the pawn shop now owned by the same folks as it owns
Yes.
his other two?
Yes.
Same guy?
Yep. He has a simplified site planning and trying to merge for all three properties and doing some additional things in the back.
Sounds positive. Thank you very much. If there are no other questions or comments for acting city administrator Depot, we'll go ahead and move on to citizen comments. The final item on our agenda this evening is citizens' comments, where we invite the public to address the mayor and council on any issues pertaining to tonight's agenda or any other city issues. For citizens not attending the public meeting, we invite you to send us your comments or concerns via email at comments@westminsternd.gov. All comments received by email will be shared with the mayor and council. Commenters should include their address and phone number with their comments. We will now invite comments from anyone who is present this evening. This is an opportunity for the public to share their thoughts and concerns with the mayor and council. Our role at this point is to listen to the comments and respond as appropriate after consultation with staff and each other. If there's anyone this evening who would like to be heard, please give your name and address for the record. Anyone? Wendy?
Penalty 195 West Main Street. I'd like to thank the police who, this was last week or the week before. I have a veteran who had fallen on his head. He has PhD, and he had a medical emergency and they did a health check and they were extremely kind to him. They treated him very well. He had left the water running and the tenant called me downstairs with 8 buckets of water already. We had about 2 inches of water there. But, they were very kind. And I brought my new business center in town with me.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jude Smorland,
Your address.
2235 Jasontown Road,
Okay.
Westminster. I've been an existing business owner, but not necessarily a shop per se. I'm a faux finish artist, third generation business person in my family in Westminster. My grandfather was Lewis Munch, who had Munch's Drive-In on 140.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And my uncle Joe, which many of you probably ate at. Munch's
Yeah,
Roast
sandwiches.
A lot of sandwiches there.
Yes, and my mom was a florist. She was a street vendor actually in Baltimore at Charles and Redwood. So anyway, had lots of good examples of business people in my family, and hard workers. So in this stage of my life, I'm changing it up a bit and opening pop-up shop boutique at the old cannery, over there where the old Carroll County Times building used to be.
Mhm.
This is across the street, it's warehousey, not fancy, but I fixed it up a lot inside, it's cool. So basically, I'm repurposing, resurfacing, reinventing, recycling, all kinds of furniture, objects, art, all kinds of things. I've participated many, many years in the Festival of Reeds contest, at the Arts Council. And my mom and I used to compete, see who could win the prize, the best prize. But, so I've been involved in the community, in that way. I look forward to reaching out, in other ways with the youth. I attended her, lunch thing today at the old Raphael's, and networked with some folks about ways I can be involved in the community with youth through art and the things that I do. So
Awesome.
she encouraged me to come and say, hey, I'm opening a new business. So it opens October 4th for the weekend, and it'll be the first weekend of every month. And there'll always be something different, and maybe funky, maybe sexy, maybe beautiful. So hopefully all those things. So I was welcoming you to come.
Well, congratulations.
For those people, excuse me, Mr. President.
Go ahead.
For those people who may not know where the old cannery building is, what's the address of that location?
Yes, ma'am. It's 142 Railroad Avenue. It's behind Baltimore Floor Works. You just go around to the back. I'll have signs and stuff everywhere.
On the opposite side of 27 up on the building. So it's not the part that faces 27, it's. on the
Correct.
opposite
It's
side.
behind and between the two buildings.
Right.
So
Great.
off the rails because it's next to the railroad track.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for coming this
And
evening.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Name and address, please.
Yeah, hi, my name is Christina Landsman. I'm the owner of 54 Ridge Road in Maryland Home Builders. The annexation that Mr. Depot was able to introduce tonight. So really just wanted to come and introduce myself, and looking forward to creating some great long-term, hopefully, relationships with all of you. We're residents of Sykesville, and raised my 4 kids and family, and we renovate and build homes in Carroll County. So we're looking forward to sharing with you the amazing project that we're doing. I'm sure, I know there's been a lot of scuttle or rumors or wonderings of what's going on with this property for the last couple of years, as it's been vacant and it's really deteriorated. So we're really excited to share with you our plans and really restore, a beautiful home like this back to its former beauty, and keeping the character of the 120-year-old home, and really bringing value and housing to Carroll County and the town of Westminster. So looking forward to meeting all of you and for having me.
Thank you. Well, I think that exhausts everyone that's here now, so I think we're probably good to go. I don't know that we've ever had every guest make a comment. I love it. All right. Okay. We'll go ahead and that concludes our agenda for this evening. Our next regular meeting will be, I have the wrong date written in here. Anybody want to tell me when our next regular meeting will be?
Monday, October the 14th.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And with that, if there's no objection, we are adjourned.